Just wanted to give you an update of where I am with this journey. As I recorded video last week, it did show that my immune system was super tanked. Now, I most recently ran a CBC in my pre-op a week before surgery, and I just got the results back, and the innate immune, which is like the workhorse of the immune, is definitely a lot more reduced in working. So this is kind of where I'm at. I'm getting ready for surgery. Hi guys, I've had the surgery done. I'm in recovery at the hospital. It seemed to go pretty good, and I'm going to have my blood looked at sometime this week by one of the staff, and we can take a look if there's any changes, what's happening with the immune system, along with if we're seeing a lot of inflammation due to the surgery. So it's been about 7 days since my surgery. You saw that last clip of my terrible looking self in my hospital bed right after surgery. In Canada here, the hospitals were really quite good. I was quite pleased with what the plastic surgeon had done. And overall, I look like I'm healing pretty well. I have most recently done a live blood sample. One of my technicians came by this morning and took a live blood cell sample, and we've kind of taken a bit of a snapshot into what my live blood cell looks like after the final surgery. Of course, there are a few things in the live blood cell that I'm very curious on. One being, what does my iron look like? As of course, when you're in surgery, you lose a lot more blood and so on and so forth. So I would presume that we would be seeing much lower iron. I'd also would be very interested to find out what my overall innate immune is doing, and also my adaptive immune, what is it doing? So what basically I want to know is, what are the fighters of my immune system, like neutrophils, are doing, and do we have other B lymphocytes, calling in some help or helping with infections and things like that? So like I said, one of my staff came by, or one of my amazing technicians, Carrie, came by, and she took samples and took some video this morning, and has sent it to me. Upon this journey, there's a lot to take in regards to this. It's quite a process. And I felt like at the beginning they hadn't moved me through as fast as I wanted to, but I realized there's so many different diagnostics they need to ensure that the surgery goes the way they want it to go. So every kind of step, the waiting to get to the actual surgery was a lot. And it felt like forever, but now that it's over, that's good. Healing for me went pretty quick. I was pretty happy, as I did also use Arnica Montana, that one of my technicians also gave me as a gift, which was really great. So I've been using the Arnica, which seems to be helping with some of the pain management, as well as I've noticed my wound starting to heal a little faster. They do put something very interesting where when you have a double mastectomy and they allow a rebuild right away, there's a process for that. So, you think you're done once the cancer is out, but there's a whole bunch of other steps that have to happen after that. So for instance, once I've got out of surgery, of course, you have to walk around with drains to help drain the liquid. That was pretty gross. And unfortunately, I would have loved to see what that looked like in the live blood cell. But I got the drains out faster than expected, which was great. I just missed out on some of that data. So the other thing that's unexpected that upon this journey, I was kind of like, wow, is that it's not over, like I said, when the cancer comes out. What happens is you now have to start working on the rebuild. In my particular case, the plastic surgeons could do a rebuild right away when I was having the mastectomy. So I was happily surprised when I woke up that I did have small breasts as what they call expanders. And what that is they put these little pockets in there, and they actually bring the expander up to the size of what they took out, because I asked them to match where I was. So it's really interesting how I have to go back, not only for follow-up appointments with the surgeon, but also appointments with the plastic surgeon to rebuild me. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how I'm healing. Overall, I'm able to like move around and function. The other thing I wanted to mention is prior to the surgery, and how it was really interesting how it's comparing in the live blood cell is the surgeon ran a CBC, and that gave a really good picture of what my plate look like, what my iron looks like, and a whole bunch of other components. It ran whole parameters on what my immune system was doing. And I'm going to share like a little snapshot of what a CBC kind of looks like. It showed my immune was quite low, my iron was quite good, and overall my platelets count was quite normal. So that was really good knowing going into surgery, but it's also really interesting comparing it to what the live cell came out this morning. So I'm going to kind of go over some of those results. The other thing, one last thing I don't want to forget to mention is you do have to go in for an injection into the breast prior to surgery to help light up the lymph system, so they can take small portions of the lymph to send it out to check if there's any components for any cancer there. So I also kind of wanted to see how that affected my system. And what happens is you do actually urinate the cancer out quite a bit after the surgery. You're urinating blue. It's quite interesting. So I also wanted to see if there was any chemical exposure showing in the actual red blood cells or anything in the blood that may relate to that or something different. The wonderful thing is I have parameters so much on the beginning of this journey, and able to follow myself through, and it's been really interesting. So here we are, and we have me up on screen. I'm pleasantly surprised to see the cells are thick as they are. I'm maintaining that, which is wonderful. The snowing you see in the background, or the movement you see in the background, is food digesting. We're also not seeing any B12 deficiencies, which is great to see that. Some of these bumpy cells you're seeing are ones that have parasites inside and or dehydrated. I'm also happy to see we're not seeing any metals in here from the different injections. The one thing I do not see too many is the immune. This is fantastic to see, as this is a neutrophil specific type of immune stretching and moving through the sample, and very healthy. I'm hoping to see more of this. So I am now on week 3, moving into week 4 of the surgery. I wanted to kind of give you a little update of what's going on. A lot of people think when you have breast cancer that it is just kind of one and done once you have the surgery. But what I've learned is there's a lot of different things that still are moving parts for the rebuild and things like that. I had the expanders put in, and they're beginning to expand them. That's been interesting. You know, for me, it was very uncomfortable and it wasn't great a couple days after the expansion. And overall, I haven't loved them. I hope it's better for other people. Then I did get the pathology back for the lymph, as when they do the cancer surgery, they do take some lymph from you to test if there's any microinvasion inside the lymph, meaning cancer found inside the lymph system. Blessed as I am, there isn't. It also isn't invasive cancer, which means that it's cancer that can really move around the body, and it's a little bit more of a dangerous type of cancer. So I've had a few check mark boxes, which is great, which enables me to move forward. So that's kind of a bit of an update on where things are at. The last couple weeks, there's been a lot more healing process happening. I did have an overload of drainage. This happened last week and the week before that, which means I think my drains were taken out too early, and I had a massive buildup of liquid and drain. It ended up being taken out yesterday, and they took out 6 full vials. It was insane, the amount of fluid that came out. I have noticed that my breast has substantially gone down, and the bruising is getting a little better. But you know, you got to just take every day as it is, because you know, every day is different. And for me, it's been hard to kind of rest as I'm a busybody. But I do find when, you know, I do too much, I'm getting a lot of pressure by the end of the day on my breasts. So I want to give you a snapshot of what the live blood cell looks like, and kind of a conclusion to wrap this video up. You know, if we're seeing anything different with the implants in there. So here's what my blood looks like right now. We're on week 3-4. By this point, I'm hoping some of the lymph fluid from the actual surgery will have been reduced quite a bit. And I'm hoping my liver will be working a lot better, being I'm not taking tons of Tylenol and Advil pretty much 4 times a day, where I'm really taking it only as needed. So I hope that's taken a lot of heat off my liver. I'm also taking a mushroom blend to keep my immune system working hard. I'm taking citrus pectin, which is a binder, and that helps bind from all the things I've been putting in my body. And I'm also taking, you know, probiotics. So here's what my blood looks like. So here I am on screen here, and we are seeing quite a few irregular cells, as these red blood cells should look a little bit more circular than they are. One of the reasons we are seeing it look this way is it may be a component of parasites exiting that cell. It could also be a component of me not drinking enough water. These ones with little dots inside, these are ones that have parasites inside the cells, which isn't abnormal to see this because I have been in and out of the hospital, things like that. And I did have parasites at the beginning of this video, and I have not been treating them. My immune system, however, is still really quiet, you know, and what I mean by that is it means that the immune system isn't functioning or as strong, moving, and I'm not seeing enough innate immune. And the innate immune are the fighters of the body. Now, I am happy to see we are seeing this blood moving a little bit more. Means some of the liver support I've been doing, such as lemon and water, seems to be really helping with that. But overall, in every 5th window I move to, I should be seeing an innate immune, like a neutrophil or something that's a fighter of my body. And unfortunately, we're not seeing this. So I need to keep boosting that immune system.